All right, let's switch gears now and talk about the real estate market. The team we have here is led by Seth O'Byrne, who's having a record-breaking year, closed an unbelievable amount of transactions, well known in San Diego for his charitable work, all that he does in real estate, and has become a great friend of the show. There's nobody to help us better understand all of the market of San Diego than the Seth O'Byrne team. Seth, good to have you here.
Thank you.
And we got Erika Spears here as well, and Javin, thanks for joining. So, Seth, I mean, it's tough to pin you on a market, right? You have things going downtown, at the beach, La Jolla, all over San Diego. I know you have a lot of focus on luxury, but you're also doing all different price ranges as well. But one of the things that I've been getting a lot of emails about recently is all this new stuff happening downtown.
Yes.
What's concerning is I'm getting emails from people in like North County, East County, and it's like if I wanted to know what was going on downtown, I would call Seth O'Byrne,
sure.
right? So you guys just did this big event down there. Tell us a little bit about some of the Rethink San Diego and the cool things happening down there.
Yeah, so I think if you've been a realtor in downtown San Diego for any amount of time, you know what's going on downtown and you know what's going on with BOSA. You know, Erika, Javin, myself, we've spent a lot of time working with BOSA developments because quite literally they've created about 80% of the notable high-rises along the waterfront. Yep. But what was a real honor to us is they thought enough of us to ask us to co-market and co-brand an event to create an excitement around Pacific Gate, which is their brand new building that's going to be right on Broadway and Kettner. And it's going to be one of the most sophisticated and clearly one of the most expensive buildings ever built.
Not just San Diego.
Well, probably on the West Coast, and it's called what's called a super prime building, which you think of super prime buildings, you think of Dubai, you think of London, Manhattan. There's no super prime buildings ever built on the West Coast of North America. So to have one in downtown San Diego, I think is a sign that downtown San Diego has really arrived, and I think you know, BOSA asking the O'Byrne team to throw an event and create excitement about it was a real honor because we're really excited about this too. This is our backyard. You
know, it's exciting because San Diego, it's almost like we've had the benefit of being one of the last emerging cities where everything they seem to be doing down there seems to be done right. They
yes.
have the things they're doing in East Village, the Idea District, things like the courtyards. They're making a social element. You see women pushing babies down there, you see empty nesters, and you see first-time home buyers.
Sure.
So the community of downtown San Diego is unbelievable, and the fact that they're putting this up there, I think it just speaks to how innovative they're being on the beachfront with this BOSA property. Sure. Speaking of beachfront, so you guys are also doing a lot of business there. I see your signs everywhere. Tell us what's happening on the coast.
Yeah, so we've had a really great year at the beach. You know, we hug the downtown and the beach communities. We do a lot of suburban work as well, all the way up into Rancho Santa Fe. But the beach work that we've been able to be a part of this year has been a real honor, including property that we listed the beginning of the year along with a sister property right down the boardwalk in South Mission Beach. And actually, right before we came on the show, a couple days back, we just closed it for $5.1 million.
Closed both.
Closed both.
Yeah.
Collective sale, same buyer. Thank goodness for sale signs. He saw both and said, I want them both.
So if you're buying two multi-million-dollar properties, these guys can help you do it. Jeez. Somebody's doing it right.
Yeah, it was really cool, and it was really you know, incredible. You know, obviously, you know, running the team now for almost a dozen years. You know, I look at benchmarks in our own business as well as benchmarks in San Diego County's development, and so you know, to have that sale be part of you know our repertoire this year, and to be able to break through 85 million sold this year, along with our great partners. You know, it's a sign that we have the right people behind our team, and our marketing team is doing a lot of the right things.
Yeah, you know, for the people tuning in the show, everybody likes to know what's happening on the high-end stuff. You see all these shows, the $1 Million Listing in all these different cities. It's just interesting to know what some very successful, wealthy people, what they're buying, why they're buying, and I also think it speaks to the market and the health of the market. But you guys are covering all of San Diego. You have some active listings right now. Help us better understand some of the things happening in these other markets. So, Erika, I know you have one in Point Loma, also a great marketplace. I think there's a little argument there about the FAA. Have you guys heard about that?
There certainly is.
I think
yes.
San Diego and Point Loma are winning that argument, which is a different topic for a different day, but I think it's awesome to see homeowners rise against the government. Different conversation, different day, but Point Loma
Certainly.
is really protecting their real estate. I think it's awesome. So you got a property out there. Tell us about Point Loma.
Absolutely. I have a new listing at 4240 Point Loma Avenue. The property was completely renovated in 2013, so it shows beautifully. It's about 7 blocks up from the oceanfront in Sunset Cliffs. The home itself is 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. It's over 3,500 square feet. brand new kitchen, bathrooms, 2 levels. One of my favorite things about it is actually its backyard. The lot is over 11,000 square feet, and it has a killer pool, saltwater pool, a spa, a fire pit, and the owner just built a cabana with a built-in kitchen and another fire pit, a TV mount. So it's a really great entertaining space, and the property's priced at $1.65.
You know, something that's a little bit different about real estate now too is they're actually incorporating the outside into living space.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Adding the fireplaces, it almost increases the square footage. And Point Loma is obviously an amazing area of San Diego.
Absolutely.
And again, a different topic for a different day, but I've been really intrigued by this whole story with the airplanes because there's been this organic movement of Point Loma, and not just Point Loma homeowners, but all of San Diego saying, look, this is our city, this is our town, and really making the changes to be better for the city of San Diego. Pretty cool. Yeah. You got one coming up here again at the beach?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you talk about $5 million sales, it makes it seem like the beach is completely unaffordable. And, you know that though these aren't Kansas City prices per se, you know, there are.
You're not going after Missouri, are you?
I'm not
Don't
going
go
after
there.
Missouri. I'm
Don't
going
go
after Kansas.
They're in the World Series.
Yeah. Right. But I'm saying, you know, San Diego can be more affordable. And, you know, we recently had a sale on the street Riviera for 2.6. I think we actually talked about it a little bit on your show. But right down the street on the 3800 block, we just listed a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It was actually our client's first home they ever bought right out of college, first job, first house. And they're looking to make a change, and we put it on the market for $599. And it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. He has, you know, not only under $1 million, almost half of that. And, you know, it's got 20-foot ceilings. It's about as close as you can get to sailboats as possible without being on one. And, you know, it's got hardwood floors, travertine. And we think it's an awesome opportunity because as San Diego values have risen, it's harder and harder to find affordable properties. So, yeah, we're really excited about that one, and that's why we wanted to talk about what's going on in Pacific Beach.
Well, it's good to cover the range as well, and I really want this to be a takeaway for our audience. When you hear numbers like 600,000, especially being from St. Louis, Missouri, the better part of the state, but 600,000 still sounds like a big number. But when you equate to what that means in a mortgage payment in a low interest rate environment, first-time homebuyers can buy that house for equivalent of what they're paying in rent. So let's look at affordability as being what are you going to have to pay to own that piece of real estate. And a $599,000 property is rental price range. When I first moved to San Diego, California, I'll never forget when I got invited to go out to what I thought was Jolla for the first time. It took a little while, but I soon learned that it's La Jolla. Javin, you got some stuff happening out there, another great part of San Diego.
We love La Jolla. It's such a great community. We just listed on October 15th, 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath. It's actually a townhome inside of the community. It's the coveted community of 464 Prospect, and the history on this building, this community is intense. It's on 2.7 acres, I believe, and it's all across the ocean. Which spreads out really beautifully and steps to the ocean. So our unit that we just listed is 2,376 square feet. It's got 2 bedrooms down at the bottom. I mean, when I tell you world-class luxury concierge service, this is La Jolla, right?
Yeah.
It's 24 hours, valet, full-time, anything that you need. We've got wine rooms in there. We've got rooftop decks with fire pits that we were talking about earlier. It's just so amazing. And the thing that I love the most about this is the views from La Jolla. People come from all over the world to see the views in La Jolla, and they just want to see what this is that everybody's talking about. You can see it at this building. The history of it, the building was built in 1924 as a colonial Spanish revival for the Scripps family, the hospital. And they've tried to keep as much of the hospital in place, the original exterior, but the interiors are just immaculate. It's just intense. I'm so excited about the property.
Well, I'm sitting here listening to you, and I want our audience to know this show is completely unscripted. And for Javin to speak that intelligently about a property and the area and everything that's happening around it shows a true expert in that micro market. And it brings me back to one of the first times we had you on the show years ago, Seth. You brought up, sometimes we get caught up a lot in the financial gains of real estate or growing equity or tax advantages. We got to remember it's a home first, it's a community. And one of the things you said originally was, you just got to love the beauty of real estate. And so here today, we just looked at a bunch of cool stuff. We talked about downtown and the cool things happening there. We looked at Point Loma and a unique property that Erika has, Riviera and everything happening at the beach, and then La Jolla. And your team somehow covers it all and is going to break $100 million before the end of the year, which is a big, big deal. So I appreciate you guys coming in here, helping us better understand not just San Diego as a whole, breaking down each micro market. All housing markets are local. Also lifestyle being very important, which is something you're big on. O'Byrne, thanks for coming in here and bringing the team with you. All right, coming up next, you've heard a lot of controversy around vacation rentals. I have the elite expert on this topic. I'm a big fan of what these guys do with Vacasa. Stick around, you're going to see something amazing to finish off this show. Keep watching American Dream, back in a minute.